Okay, we're doing it.
Embracing the unexpected.
Right? Here we go. This is
divine
nice.
flow.
It's nice to be in nature instead of inside.
Oh, it's perfect.
Hello, friends. Welcome. Here we are in a little bit of forest, and hopefully you can hear us. Let us know if you can, show us a thumbs up or something like that to let us know if you can hear us okay. And we're out on the trail because the water was calling, and we decided to answer and come outside. It's an absolutely glorious day. Hopefully you can hear the birds singing, and we're here to talk about the water. So
She's right behind us.
here we go. Okay, we got some people on. Hello. Oh, hi, Lydia. I think, who is that? My eyes aren't too good from this distance. Brandy. Hi, Brandy.
Wow, good for you. I couldn't see that at all.
Awesome. My eyes are better at this distance instead of up close. All right, Brandy from the Eco Village is here.
Oh, grand rising for those who are in the
Hello.
time zone.
All right.
Beautiful. Yeah, we find ourselves divinely guided to this perfect location. We were going to be tucked inside, and then the piano tuner came. So we got sent out here with the birds and the water trickling beautifully behind us, which is just really what it's all about, isn't it? It's getting out. It's getting out and connecting with the water.
It called us out.
Wherever you find her.
Yes.
There's a lot to say about water these days. We're learning so much more. As I'm sitting with my sisters and the beautiful grid workers and light workers from around the world, there's this recognition of the deepening of the relationship with water. Where for so many of us, we've known now for a long time how powerful water is, how beautiful it is, knowing that we can give it gratitude and it returns the blessing to us. We know that Emoto helped us understand that with his work, and we have new beautiful beings on the scene like Dr. Alexander Ling, who are taking it now even further to the next steps of recognizing what water actually is. And his work is similar to Emoto. He receives the water and then he puts it under the microscope. He freezes it first. And when he receives the water, he activates within himself a deep connection, a deep communion before he receives the transmission or the message from the water. In the earlier days in his work, he wasn't at the place he is now yet. And he was, in the beginning, asking the water questions, satisfying the mind, trying to understand. And in one of those experiences, he did ask the water a question, and he asked, "What are you?" And he received the water, and it went through the process. And when he was looking into the petri dish, letters had been written into the message of the water.
Wow.
Yeah. The word tally came, and he didn't know what that meant, so he researched it and found it to be a Hebrew word meaning the dew of God.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful.
It's everywhere. It's in all of the elements. You even find water in fire. It's everywhere. As above, so below. It's within. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And in that same sort of understanding that we have about having a relationship with our Creator, with something larger than us, than our higher selves, divine guidance, however we choose to label it or understand it, it's like it's just waiting for us to receive it and to get how powerful that relationship can actually be.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and so when you're meeting the waters, the opportunity is, of course, just like we would in our prayers, thank you, I'm so grateful for, and all of the things, and I have so much love, and I wish to express that and share that, and that is beautiful. But there's also the storytelling You know, this is what I'm going through, and here's what I'm feeling, and this is what I imagine the new earth to look and feel like. This is what I imagine peace to feel like and look like. This is what it is when the children are running free, healthy and innocent and in their purity. This is what it's like when the elders are honored. This is what it's like when we have that unity in our masculine and feminine selves. All of these aspects are stories that we can express to the water that can in return, like a mirror, reflect it back to us.
Beautiful.
And then the water is activated in that. And the water moves. So everywhere the water goes, that story that you've told it spreads.
Wow.
Yeah. Imagine at any little creek, we just have this tiny little precious creek behind us. You know, it doesn't have to be a giant body of water. It can be the tap in your home. It can be while you're standing in the shower or while you're in the bath or in your cold plunges or whatever is calling you, the dew in the morning. It's, what would it be like to really deepen your relationship with the water? It gets me excited, I have to say.
Like actually becoming best friends and sharing your heart the way you would if you called up your best friend and said, here's what's going on for me and here's what I'm visualizing and intending for the world. Tell everyone.
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Exactly. We can take a drop of water from a high frequency body of water where I've been living in Bacalar. It's called the Mother Waters of the world. And it's this beautiful, beautiful freshwater body with the cenotes reaching down to the primordial water table and all the stromatolites. And she's so powerful, and she's affected me so deeply in the 2 years that I've been there. It's been an immensely powerful healing time for me. And recognizing, and then with Dr. Ling's work, we can actually see that she's healthy and strong and vibrant. And a little drop of her in another little body of water somewhere else in the world, her waters affect those waters. So basically we can take healthy waters from anywhere in the world and share them with the sick waters to help revive them.
Beautiful.
There's a piece here. We're on Vancouver Island for anyone who's coming in from further afield. And if you're familiar with the Book of Enoch, we're in that part of the story where ascension becomes possible. And there's an overlay over Turtle Island of a dove. And it's said that we're in the time now of the return of the dove. And up here on Vancouver Island, in this region up here, is the wing of one of the doves. And this is also the place where the portal of water, of the plasma of the water, enters in. So the energy of the water enters into the planetary field in this region.
Wow.
Imagine that. So it's coming in here and it meets us, the humans, and then it spreads throughout the planetary field and throughout the human hearts. So we are essentially the first point of contact with the waters for the world here.
What an opportunity and what a responsibility.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's both. And it's an incredible amount of power, of true power to really deeply and profoundly affect the entire situation of everything on the planet. When the waters are well, everything will balance. You know, we all have our pieces. Someone's called to work with the different elements or the different political situations or all of the different aspects or the children in the schools, and all of that is divinely perfect. We're given those pieces for our own various reasons, and how wonderful that we can act on that and to empower all of those pieces. Every single one of those pieces is to deepen the relationship with water and to recognize what's really possible when we do that.
It connects us.
And in here, it then spreads. So we meet the waters in our wholeheartedness, in this storytelling nature that we've expressed, and that spreads throughout the world. There's something really powerful about the region and the waters of Canada as a complete whole that has in a counter move sort of created a fairly extreme oppression that has made the work for the light workers in this region difficult. a heavy burden.
Mm-hmm.
And to recognize that too, sort of a thank you and a pat on the back for those who have either been called to this region or who were born in this region to do that work. It's a really, really important piece, and I think we're now just getting how important that is.
Mm-hmm. What you're sharing definitely adds another dimension to what we've been going through.
Exactly, and we look at, you know, what you've done here, calling this group together. My number is 144. That's my number. Do you know? Yeah. And, you know, we look at the incredible expansion that has happened on this channel in the last couple of months, as you've shared. It's incredible. I'm sure your viewers know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we could tell you again for those who just arrived. This group was formed 4 years ago, and in 4 years it grew to 5,000 members. And then right when Pluto entered Aquarius at the end of November, so far about 75,000 people have arrived. So I feel like we're really experiencing the Great Awakening in real time here.
Hi, everyone!
And the founders and all the newcomers, you're all so welcome here. We're so glad you're here.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that an incredible marker? Since I've learned about this from you and what's happening here, I've shared it many, many times with many people because it really is such a profound marker of what's happening in the world.
It helps us. It reassures us that what we're feeling in our hearts is actually really happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And the impetus, the support, the inspiration through each other and being together to continue, to move forward in those days when it's hard, or those moments when it's hard, or, you know, it's a time that's asking for incredible strength of us all. You know, probably just at that point where we're all kind of ready to just lay back and relax. Not quite.
No.
Not quite.
Big inhale. Keep going. Press on.
But the difference now is that we're not alone. And I know you all can relate to that. I know so many of us have been very alone on this path for so much of it. And we're now in the time where it's that part of the story where two or more are gathered in common prayer, in common intention, in unity, that we really get to amplify the field. And so that, I mean, when I hear what's happening with you, and I know what's happening through the other channels that I'm reaching and people, this is it. Why are you all gathered here? Why are we all gathered here? What are the next steps? What are the next pieces in the puzzle, now that we're all here and present and saying, I'm here, I'd like to be counted, I'm claiming my power, I'm claiming my place. Okay, now what?
Now what?
Now what? And, well, I've got some ideas.
We're all ears, Shulé.
You have to forgive me, I've got a little tickle in my throat today.
Tea time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
what's next?
What's next? Well, let's stay on the stream, shall we? The stream of the water. One piece is through Dr. Ling. There is an initiative called the Guardians of the Water. And this is an opportunity for each and every one of us in our places to meet our waters. Meet your waters. They're inside too. Introduce your waters to the waters. Connect with the waters. So we're building relationship with waters, and everyone can do that everywhere. The next piece would be in that deep state of communion to collect the water. And once you've had it, you've collected it and labeled it. This is the stream on Vancouver Island called and location.
This is Busy Place Creek. I don't know the First Nations name, but I know that the translation is Busy Place Creek.
A good spot for us all to meet.
Yes. That's perfect.
Yeah, as we get busy. Meet the waters, collect the waters in that energetic communion, and then we send the waters to Alexander Ling, and there can be an address that I can share about how to do all of that.
Yeah, we'll put that in the comments.
And then he's going to create a data bank of waters from around the world. And he'll be testing the waters to know in all manner frequency and also the biological health of the water. And then we know which waters need to go where to help support the weaker waters. We know where extra energy amplification in prayer and intention needs to go. So you become basically a part of a network where we share that information. You get to hear and see the image of the water that you've collected that will come in return to you, and then to do the work collectively, again, in our individual places.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then there is the opportunity to gather. And this is where it gets really, really juicy. Yeah. We had an amazing experience the other day, didn't we?
We sure did.
Yeah, incredibly powerful. 12 of us gathered by the waters in a place called Shawnigan Lake here on Vancouver Island. We met the waters at the lake, and then we climbed up the mountain. And each of us, such incredible grid workers, water workers, however we would call ourselves, everyone coming with their empowered piece in this beautiful amplification, that collective energy and what that can do to the field. And I've watched fires go out by people intending them to go out. The miracles are real. It's what actually we are the elements. So of course we can communicate with them and work with them.
Because we embody them.
Exactly. And no matter what technologies or man-made this or that might try to influence nature, we are more powerful than that as well. So we need not be afraid of any of that. But we do need to get together and amplify together. And I know you're doing that with regular, all kinds of beautiful ways that you're offering to the group online, which is perfect because that can keep the community connecting and working together, again, no matter where we are. And then the other opportunity is to actually physically be together and to do the work. And so we're working on that. We've got a Sacred Waters gathering happening in Peru in May, where Dr. Ling will be there, and we will gather all those who are called to the waters and visit some of the most spectacular and powerful water points on the world. We'll work through the stargates of Peru.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bound to be epic.
So if people are interested in that, would they contact you?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah. And coming up even sooner than that is the gathering here on Vancouver Island at our eco village in Shawnigan Lake, February 14th, 15th, and 16th. And this came, I was born and raised here, so I'm from here, but I've been away most of my adult life because I'm a land walker, and I've been working the grids since I was a girl. And anytime I've come back to Vancouver Island, it's kind of been for the little girl, for the nostalgia, and to see family and visits and all those things. And of course, I'm doing all of that in this time. But it came just like my journey to Peru came. It came through a dream, came through an activation, it came through a directive. And now Shulé, it's time to do the work on Vancouver Island. And so I declared that, and the elders that I was working with in South America, in Peru, felt that very deeply, and they asked if they could come. And so we have a beautiful, beautiful elder from Peru joining us for this gathering in February, as well as an incredible elder from Egypt, and Vicky and Thomas, incredible beings from Hawaii, Indigenous elders all, to meet with our elders here.
Beautiful. And
it was incredible, Sarah, to get back here and for me to meet, to be invited, to ask permission from the elders here. It's so profound what's possible now. Unity is really there. We prayed together by the river. We let the ancestors know that we were coming. And there's such an energetic amount of support in all of that. And just like everywhere, meeting the elders, here too, the knowing is there about the importance of the water. And so we're gathering around eldership, around water. And so through the elders, what can we learn about the water? What can we learn about ourselves? And what happens when a body of humans with this intention and with this clarity, and who have done this much personal work to embody as much as we have, when we come together with this intention, it's like a force field that ripples out, that affects everything, you know. And right here for Vancouver Island, in this region, the Pacific Northwest, we've got work to do. We've got work to do. It's been heavy. It's a deliberately oppressed area. And now that we really get that and recognize that, what gets to shift that? It's us, and it's us together. And I wish to say just about that through our own expansion, don't we know, it's not always comfortable. Can anyone relate?
Relatable, yes.
And I can share from my own experience that it's still uncomfortable, in the sense that, I feel like the guidance within and around me takes me to places and in ways that don't necessarily logically make sense. There's not always the money in the bank to show that that's possible. There's not always. I had a dream that I was going to Peru. The Caros came to me and they said, Shulé, it's time for Peru, and bring the others. Oh, okay, good. So I had never been to Peru, so who am I to invite others to Peru? Okay.
But you did.
I did, because the very next step was shown. And the very next step was shown. And that introduction came. And then I met the most amazing beings who were waiting for me to show up. And then I met the man, the Caros, that I had the dream about when I was there in person.
Whoa.
And so there's all this evidence, this encouragement through the evidence, through the validation. You're on track, keep going.
Yeah.
The money shows up just and so and so and so.
You're listening and you're saying yes, and therefore the next step appears.
Exactly. Exactly.
Beautiful.
That yes is what really draws us to it, and then it's like the water. We flow with that, and if we get too busy in the mind, too busy in the how, we get stopped. And we can see, essentially, if we look to the entirety of humanity and the planet with all the problems, it's coming from the mind. It's coming from the thinking, from the doing, from the needing, even good intentions of trying to fix something. Well, what is it alternatively but a deep, deep, deep state of being, where that next breath and next moment is literally provided. It's shown. And it's in that fluidity that we really find that ease and contentment. And even in those moments where it feels a bit uncomfortable, there's laughter with it now, rather than enormous fear or trepidation or resistance. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to explain this one, but guess it's
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we have just such an incredible team working together to gather for this February, and such an incredible invitation from the elders to do so. And if you don't have that experience, if you haven't sat with the elders before, it's incredible what happens in ceremony and in that communion when we're still enough to really listen and really receive. It's incredibly transformative. So we have 3 days, which is a massive container, and those 3 days together will be transformative for us internally and for the whole and beyond. Yeah. Get ready.
So we'll be doing the work here, and also the invitation is going out to everyone to come in and participate. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Please join us. If you have any sensation, anything that's arising in your body right now, telling you to do so, it's yours to do, and you're needed. It's not there's a shift. It's a subtle shift. We're showing up for ourselves, but we're really showing up for the whole. The elders need us. We need the elders. The Caros and the other tribes have been coming out of the Andes in this time to now share what they've received. And at the same time, we're finding more unity unfolding here in these regions with the elders, the invitation to to come to lodge on the land of our elder of Cowichan. That's an incredible invitation to dip in the waters in that energy of prayer and intention held in that container. It's incredible what's possible. And it needs us. We're absolutely needed. If you've been wondering, what am I to do in these times? How do I find my way through all of this? This is one of those occasions. This is one of those opportunities that, again, if there's anything stirring in you, it's not to be missed. And if I can be so bold, anytime you're having that stirring, that is your yes. Without doubt, without hesitation, that is your yes. And when you claim that yes, watch the way unfold. Yeah. Isn't it?
So inspiring.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And this is the opportunity to be living the miraculous. You know, even when you're just washing the dishes, going, what are you doing? You're playing in the water. You know? It's like having the morning shower, just part of the mundane routine of life. Oh, you're in the water.
It's glorious.
Yes.
I love that. You're bringing the magical into what we're already doing, and just sort of, we don't even notice the water. Speaking for myself, maybe other people do, but it's just so around us all the time and so with us that I can overlook it.
Yes.
So thank you for presencing that.
Yes.
And how special that is.
I'm so grateful to have been guided to meet the beings and to meet the waters and to deepen my understanding about that and to have the experiences that I have. And I know part of my puzzle piece is to share.
Yeah.
It's to help spread that around. And it feels amazing. It's really amazing. Can I share one more piece?
Please.
Yeah. There would be another call to action. And I imagine for those of you who show up for the gathering, there's a spark that will be ignited. And so when Dr. Ling and I were by the waters in Bacalar, and we were reading the waters, and he would ask me, go be with the water and receive some, and we'll do it. And then it comes in, and you're looking at it, and it's very intuitive, and sometimes there are letters, and sometimes there are very clear images, and sometimes it's a little more abstract. And we both looked at each other almost in the same moment and said, what would it be to have the Indigenous elders read the water? From that depth of intuitive knowing. And the very next day, we went off to a sound healing that I'd been to 1,000,000 times in our temple in Bacalar. And unbeknownst to us, there was a gathering of the elders. So the room was full of grandmothers.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got to meet them and invite them. And now there's this amazing connection happening in that part of the world, working with the elders, working with the waters. Okay. Part of the work is the atonement. And if we really understand what that means, because there can be a religiosity in it that might make one feel shameful or guilty or less than somehow. But I don't feel it that way at all. If we break down atonement, we get at one-ment.
Yes.
We are at one with ourselves and with the whole. And in that exact moment of atonement, at one-ment, any wrongdoings or past deeds are cleared. Because we're claiming the love, the atonement, the at-one-ment. And so when we're working with a society and a people who have done harm to each other, sister to sister, brother to brother, colonist to indigenous, whatever the story may be, ultimately it's all the same. It's not being at one with ourselves. That's the only way we could ever do those things. So to recover is to atone. To heal is to atone. To be present to an elder, for example, and be as much as one can be at one with yourself, and to meet in that space. There's immediate recognition and healing. And imagine en masse what could be experienced worldwide when we do that. So part of the work I've been called to as well. I'm on a board for the South American Indigenous, and also on something called the World Hereditary Council.
Mm-hmm.
And in both, and they come together now, is the initiative to find all hereditary leaders. So many of the hereditary leaders have been replaced with a democratic council or a democratic chief. Everyone gets to have their place. That doesn't necessarily have to be bad, but somewhere along the line, that was taken.
Mm-hmm.
And what are those hereditary bloodlines, the blood song? And how do we find healing through the recognition of that blood song?
Mm.
And so by finding the hereditary leaders and creating an index, a global index of this, and then facilitating through a container the opportunity for those hereditary leaders, healers, shamans, to meet each other and to gather like this, to be able to share more in this way, and also to gather in person for what I know is coming as some epic opportunities for mass transformation on the planet.
Wow.
So it's a bit of a job. And, you know, when I see it, I see the mycelium. It's us. It's us in all of our places, wherever we are. Oh, well, I know so-and-so, and they might know. You might even be thinking, well, I don't know anything about that, but you might just know that one person who might know something. And then we all start connecting those pieces together, and suddenly we have liaisons in different regions facilitating so that we can connect with the Indigenous elders in those regions. So that is a call that I'm making in this moment to your incredible, to this incredible group of 144,000. You know, this incredible frequency who is on the planet. I don't say just to do this specific work, but to do this work of everything that we're saying, of this work. Yeah. And so if this work calls to you, here's an incredible opportunity. There's already a very powerful team. It's very well held and handled. All the back work is done in terms of the discovery of these pieces and the websites and putting it all in place. So now is the opportunity for us to activate in a mass way. So this could take years and years and years, or yeah, we can all come together.
Sure.
Yeah.
It could be easy.
It could be easy. It could flow like the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Wow. I don't know about you guys, but I am super inspired.
Oh.
Wow. What a beautiful call to action, and just all these dimensions of awareness that you're sharing are just so beautiful, and I know that they're sparking truth in everyone's hearts that are hearing you speak. So I'm very, very grateful for you coming and sharing with all of us today. Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure. It's such a gift to me. I feel elated, you know, and when I think about the two of us in this moment, for example, coming together, meeting each other like we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
We both got some weird directives. You know, as you describe it, you're not really that computer girl who's thinking she should start a page or do a thing. You know, it was guidance.
Absolutely.
And you were told to do it.
Yeah, and I listened.
Yeah.
And you too.
Yeah.
It's all about the listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in preparation, not just for each other, you and I, but it's one of the things that's coming out of this, you know, and
Absolutely.
that you're all, and who's receiving what in this moment, and what connections are you all making with each other otherwise on this channel.
Yeah.
It's such an opportunity to come out of the passive and into the action together in this way. What a huge number of activated beings that are listening and listening to each other and are connecting with each other. It's everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank all of you. Just know that you're loved and that you're seen and you're known, and that what you do is incredibly important and needed. So let's play. Let's do this.
wanted to add that we'll be putting information about Dr. Ling's work, and of course information of how to get in touch with Shulé if you would like to join in into any of these gatherings, and also the Facebook event that you've created for the event that's coming right up, so that you can connect through there and get registered and come and join us.
And perhaps host a gathering in your area next. It could be like that.
Yes.
You know, it could be like that. There's just so many fun ways we can play.
Absolutely.
So don't let us, anything that's coming to you, please share, because your guidance is important for all of us to hear and know.
Absolutely. We're in the listening for you too. Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, what a time. What a beautiful time.
So blessed to be alive at this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we got this.
Yeah.
We got this because we're meant to.
Yeah.
You know? We've got the tools. We've got the capacity. We know how, even if our minds don't quite know. Yeah.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you. Love you.
Woo!
Okay. See you later.